Conquer your fear of the unknown, how to take risks and succeed. Fear is an emotion that often holds people back from achieving their goals. Fear of the unknown doesn't have to stop you from living your life. In this teaching, I will discuss how to cope with fear and conquer your fears. I will also provide some tips for overcoming the fear of the unknown. So if you're ready to take on your fears and start living a more fulfilling life, keep listening. Do you ever find yourself avoiding new opportunities because you're afraid of the unknown? Or maybe you've been putting off making a change in your life because you're not sure what will happen. If so, you're not alone. Fear of the unknown is a common fear that can hold us back from living our best lives. What causes people to fear the unknown? One of the most universal human experiences is fear. Everyone feels it at some point, and it serves an important purpose, to keep us safe from harm. Fear is usually triggered by something that we perceive as a threat, and it prompts us to take action to avoid or escape the danger. However, sometimes we can find ourselves feeling afraid even when there is no apparent threat. This usually happens when we encounter something new or unfamiliar. Our brains are wired to be cautious of things that we don't know because they could potentially be dangerous. That's why people often feel more comfortable sticking to what they know and avoiding anything that seems different or strange. When your fear of the unknown becomes damaging, while a healthy level of caution can keep us safe, an excessive fear of the unknown can become damaging. When we're excessively afraid of something that poses no real threat, we're said to have a phobia. Phobias are irrational fears that can cause tremendous anxiety and interfere with our daily lives. People who suffer from phobias will frequently go to great lengths to avoid the things they are terrified of. For example, someone with a fear of flying may not take vacations or miss out on important business opportunities rather than getting on a plane. Or, someone with a fear of heights may avoid tall buildings and never experience the breathtaking views from the top of a skyscraper. In some cases, the fear of the unknown can become so debilitating that it significantly impairs a person's quality of life. If left unmanaged, potential complications may include anxiety and depression, social isolation, substance abuse, poor job performance or unemployment, relationship difficulties. How to recognize a fear of the unknown. What are the signs that you may be afraid of change? The fear of change can present itself in many different ways in someone's day-to-day life. Here are some of the most common warning indicators. You might avoid new experiences altogether. You may resist change, even minor changes. You could have a strong dislike for anything unfamiliar. You might feel anxious or stressed when confronted with the unknown. You may experience physical symptoms like a racing heart, sweating, or shaking when faced with change. You're extremely anxious about what will happen in your future. Despite wanting to leave a bad relationship, you stay in it. You're trapped or unhappy in a circumstance, yet you avoid making positive changes. The thought of change gives you heart palpitations. If you find yourself exhibiting any of these behaviors, you may have a fear of the unknown. But don't worry, there are ways to conquer this fear and start living a fuller life. Tips for overcoming the fear of the unknown. Here are a few tips to help you face your fear of the unknown and start living a more fulfilling life. Identify your triggers. Triggers are one of the first things to consider. What is it about new situations that make you feel anxious? Is it the feeling of not being in control? Or perhaps it's the fear of failure or not knowing what to expect. Once you've identified your triggers, you can start to address them head-on. If your trigger is the feeling of not being in control, try to develop a plan ahead of time. When you know what to expect, you'll feel more prepared and confident facing the unknown. If your trigger is the fear of failure, remind yourself that everyone experiences setbacks at some point in their lives. Failure is not permanent and should not stop you from pursuing your goals. Finally, if your trigger is simply not knowing what to expect, try to embrace the unknown with an open mind. Be curious and excited about all the possibilities that await you. With these tips in mind, you'll be better equipped to handle whatever life throws your way. Challenge your beliefs. One of the main reasons we're afraid of the unknown is because we don't know what to expect. But instead of avoiding new experiences because we're afraid of what might happen, try to challenge your beliefs about them. When you're faced with a new situation, ask yourself what the worst possible outcome could be. Then, remind yourself that it's highly unlikely that this will happen. Oftentimes, our fears are much worse than reality. Take baby steps. When facing something new, it's normal to feel a little bit of apprehension. After all, the unknown can be pretty scary. But rather than letting your fear hold you back, why not try to embrace it? After all, there's no better way to conquer your fears than by facing them head on. One of the best ways to overcome your fear of the unknown is to take things one step at a time. Rather than diving in head first, try easing into things gradually. This will give you a chance to acclimate to your new surroundings and build up your confidence along the way. Additionally, it's important to remember that everyone feels scared at times. Rather than seeing your fear as a weakness, try to view it as a natural and normal part of life. By accepting your fear, you'll be one step closer to conquering it. Find a support system. One of the best ways to overcome a fear of the unknown is to find a support system. Talking to friends, family, or a therapist can help you to understand your fears and develop a plan for dealing with them. You may also want to consider joining a support group for people with similar fears. By sharing your experiences and learning from others, you can develop a better sense of control and start to view the unknown as an opportunity rather than a threat. Make a vision board. The fear of the unknown is a very real and powerful emotion. It can prevent us from taking risks, exploring new opportunities, and achieving our full potential. But by taking some time to get to know ourselves and what we want out of life, we can start to overcome this fear. A vision board is a way to help you focus on your goals. This is a collage of images, words, and affirmations that represent our goals and dreams. It's a tool that can help us focus on what we want to achieve and start taking steps towards it. By taking the time to get to know ourselves and what we want out of life, we can start to overcome the fear of the unknown. Journal. Journaling is one way to help you overcome the fear of the unknown. It can be used as a tool to reflect on your day, process your thoughts and feelings, and gain clarity and insight. By taking the time to write out your fears, you can begin to understand them better and see them in a new light. Journaling can also help you to track your progress as you work to overcome your fears. As you journal, you may find that your fear of the unknown begins to lessen over time. You may also discover new things about yourself and the world around you that you never knew before. Journaling can be a helpful and enlightening way to explore the unknown and confront your fears head on. Meditate. Meditation is another tool that can be used to overcome the fear of the unknown. It's a practice that can help us to focus and connect with our inner thoughts and feelings. When we meditate, we're able to quiet the noise of the world around us and get in touch with our true selves. This can be a very powerful experience, especially when we're facing something new and unknown. By taking the time to meditate, we can start to see the unknown in a new light and develop a greater sense of peace and calm. Meditation can also help to increase our self-awareness and understanding, which can be helpful when dealing with fear. If you're interested in learning more about meditation, there are plenty of resources to get you started. Don't duck away from your responsibilities. Overcoming the fear of the unknown is something that we all face at some point in our lives. Whether it's starting a new job, going on a first date, or moving to a new city, change can be scary. But it's also essential for personal growth. When we step out of our comfort zones and into the unknown, we open ourselves up to new experiences and ways of thinking. By learning more about ourselves and those around us, we can better understand our capabilities. So don't duck away from your responsibilities when change comes knocking. Embrace the unknown and see what you're capable of. Treatment. If the fear of the unknown is impacting your everyday life, it may be time to seek professional help. There are many treatment options available, such as therapy, medication, and exposure therapy. Exposure therapy is a type of treatment that involves gradually exposing yourself to the thing you're afraid of. This can help you to overcome your fear by facing it head on. If you're interested in exploring treatment options, speak with your doctor or mental health professional. They can help you to find the right type of treatment for your needs. Conclusion. The fear of the unknown is a very real and powerful emotion. It can prevent us from taking risks, exploring new opportunities, and achieving our full potential. We don't have to let it control our lives. By taking some time to get to know ourselves and what we want out of life, we can start to overcome this fear. Journaling, meditating, and seeking professional help are all great ways to begin this journey. If you're struggling with the fear of the unknown, know that you're not alone. Many people face this fear every day, but there are ways to overcome it. By taking some time to get to know yourself and what you want out of life, you can start to conquer your fear of the unknown. So don't be afraid to take the first step. Embrace the unknown and see what you're capable of. Do you have a fear of the unknown? What steps have you taken to overcome it? Share your story in the comments below.